So how do you take this to this? So I made a custom Martian Manhunter using the DC Collectibles from the Supergirl show. If you guys want to check out that original figure review, I have it up on my channel, so feel free to look at that, to look at all the articulation and the details on that original figure. Now, let's get into the video.
Anyone in a betting mood?
My money's on Supergirl. Did you guys know he was an alien?
Yes.
So in the video, you can tell that the suit looks darker, and the figure itself, the original figure, was just a very light gray. So you simply wanted to do a repaint and modify some articulation. Right, so here we got the head sculpt. Didn't really change anything. I thought the head sculpt was fantastic, great. Didn't need to change the skin tone or anything. It looks realistic enough to me, which is the look I'm going for my Justice League shelf. Definitely wanted that more classical look with the gold plates, like the original. Really liked how that looked. And then of course wanted a red cross. The red cross was kind of a little too bright, and wanted a more realistic muted color. I think this shade of red was the best way to go. So for that, I used the Smooth Satin FX. So overall, I didn't really change, just painted that. All this is the same original color of the neck piece. Light blues, get some yellows. Really nice. Very modernized. The shoulder pads, I definitely wanted to change the shoulder pads. These were actually originally glued. I don't know if you see that peg right there. But there's a little square right there that this pegged in. Kind of really can't get it to peg in again, but it honestly doesn't look that bad the way it is. And so it definitely like hindered articulation, but now since I used elastic strap and just kind of glued it here so it doesn't really move anywhere, I can just lift him up here, and where I can just go over his shoulder right there and get some more range. So I painted silver on the edges, and then in the middle area, obsidian, just to change it up, give some accents to it. So you got gold, silver, obsidian, and then a matte navy blue. Okay, thought that looked really cool. And then like the undersuit, everywhere else, I just went overall with a matte black, just so it could look like, an undergarment over, under the armor pieces. I think it looked really nice and very basic, because I definitely saw some art, some concept art of Martian Manhunter with a black undersuit or a black overall suit with the red cross, but I still wanted to keep some of the blue coloring in there. Alright, so then I put silver accents around the red X, just so it could look more like armor and break it up a little bit. Kept the gold, the original gold, actually here. Kind of gave it like a black wash to give it some grime and dirt. Then I went obsidian on the belt area. Also came out really good. And then silver right above it in those accents. And then back to navy blue in these panels. And everything else, the boots are the same. I thought they looked really good the way they were. Didn't want to change them. Gauntlets, went with navy blue right here, and then silver accents around it. Breaks it up a little bit. Gloves also kept the same, so they match the boots, so it works out. So it's not all one color. He's got a couple things going on. And I will say, like, My Justice League display, the one thing I definitely love about it is the different color schemes that all the different characters have. It's very colorful, it's very unique. Compared to Marvel, where it's very like muted, dark. Yeah, there's some breakage, but it's not as bright as, you know, the Justice League or DC characters. The Obsidian, I used Extreme Sheen. Had this for a while, used this on other projects. This is a pretty nice paint, works well, and also covers pretty well. This is by Deco Art, by the way. Yeah, so pretty good paint right there. Silver, I use Armor Metallic, FX as well. It's not necessary when doing like plastic pieces, but I would definitely prefer using FX for like fabric and stuff. Then for the black, I use Smooth Satin. So other than the shoulders, when it comes to articulation, I did use a Dremel and Dremeled the back part of this the hole, so I can get just a bit more range going up, so I can do some flight poses. So I did also had to modify the ab articulation. I Dremeled a little bit up front here and mostly in the back, so he can have a smoother and better looking flight pose as well. So you could just, sometimes you might pop out. So you just get a little bit more range, because before I think he could not move at all. So now he could look a little bit more forward. Still not the best, but it's better than it was. Then I did cut this part. It originally had a rubber cape, which was not bad, but I didn't want to cover more area. The cape was very skinny and long and just went straight down. It kind of got in the way of, like, you know, putting a arm grabber on it, so, you know, you can display it with a display stand. So I opted just to get a cloth cape. I think it was called GPS Lot on eBay. They got multiple capes, jackets, 112 clothing, and even just, you know, collectibles or collectible parts that you can buy there. Sadly, they don't have the specific cape I bought recently that I checked, which is basically the cape here had these gold plates on it. And I just like pulled it off and glued it onto here, because I really couldn't get this cape around the neck piece, you know. So I just I think it would look weird if I did that. So I just did this, you know. Yeah, it doesn't look the best, but you're really not gonna look at the back of him, so it's fine. Continuing to the arms, I actually replaced these joints with some joints I bought off Amazon. I think it was the Rebeltech joints. And I just used, you know, I tried to size it out, so I wanted a perfect size that would fit in here and look good and not bulge too much. So there's like the medium joint, and it restricted the articulation to like right about there. It was less than 90 degrees. It was like 45 degrees. So now I can get a whole 90, which, you know, it kind of makes a difference. And, you know, I think it looks better. And if I wanted to, I can actually pull this out just a bit and get just a bit more than 90. So it works. It's not super tight in there, but it's tight enough to where you still can play around with it. So it's got like that pull down method that like SHF has, that in the leg area, but it's in the arms. So I thought that was really cool. I think that worked out for me. I thought that was a good idea, so I went with it. Leg wise, lower body wise, I didn't change anything. I thought it was the basics that I would need for a Martian Manhunter. He's not like super dynamic. He's not gonna do Spidey poses, so he really doesn't need to lift his legs up that much. You know, so he does the basics. You know, he's got elbow joints right there. almost kicks his ass. He's got a nice hinge. No rocker, but again, you know, Martian Manhunter, he's a more flying character, or just like standing up on the ground. He's not going to be like doing a Iron Man pose on the ground. So it's fine. It works. So this is my official Manhunter. I love this concept. Forgot to mention, so a reason why I did replace the joints, the original joints in here, wasn't solely only because of the range of motion, but it was also because with the lack of range of motion, those joints were too loose as well. So I just thought, let me just change it out to a stronger joint that will also give me more range. So that's really the reason why I decided to replace them and like cut them out. So just wanted to make sure you guys knew that it wasn't just because of range of motion. But I think one of the arms was loose, and I would literally just move it, you know, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, and it would just like fall straight down. So this I don't have to worry about. It's really, that is my Martian Manhunter custom for my Justice League display. Alright, thanks guys for watching this video. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. Be kind, be safe, stay creative. I'll catch you on the next video.
So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.